here is the master list. I put out this tweet, Nick, and I asked like, "Hey, I want everybody to kind of chime in." I even asked you to retweet it, but I didn't expect it to take off like it did.
I haven't seen it yet. I
Yeah,
haven't been
it
paying
got
attention.
people's juices going, like, and lots of replies. So we'll just kind of read a little bit of it, maybe talk about it for 5 or 10 minutes as a short segment. But here is the tweet making a master list of the worst things the squad or progressive Dems did in the past 2 years, first 2 years of Biden administration, because I wanted to pinpoint how these are the things they did while in power. Not like they're flailing while not in power. The chance to actually do change, that's when these terrible things came, and that was the point of making this master list. So this was the five that I kind of just fresh on my mind. Failed, forced to vote, and it was so crystallized because of the Freedom Caucus and what they were able to extract, and people still. So to me, that's a body blow that they're not recovering from. The strike breaking is another body blow
Like
that they're
all
just
these
not
are. That's
recovering
the
from.
funny
Yeah,
part. Go ahead, CJ. But the
yeah.
funny part
Yep.
is that
Go ahead.
all five of these things individually will be enough for me. But all right, I'm done with you. That's just me. I'm done with you for any one of these individual things. But they did all five, and people still apologize for them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, CJ.
No, maybe I wasn't thinking of it that way, but these literally, that's how they came up in my mind. Like, I was thinking of things like, man, just singularly, I would leave just on this one thing, and I just happened to put them all five together. But covering for Biden, that's one that gets us more like ticked off, or we want to tweet about it more, even though he does a lot. But this is the thing, because it's so prevalent, and I've said this in the last two segments on You Left Shit Out, Nick, that it's clear. And I don't know if you've seen the video of AOC talking before the State of the Union and after. It is clear that she has accepted the role of I'm the left representative to give.
Yeah, I want to do a segment on that. I don't know how much of that you covered, but
yeah, I mean, we could do that because I covered it a different angle, and I think that the way you and I would cover it would be slightly different. So that could be something else we cover today. And then, of course, the two war things, the two military-industrial complex things, sending money to Ukraine and NATO, and then their support. And I use the word support because it's money and visual support. They also, Jamal Bowman visit several times, and they also vote in Iron Dome. So it's several things. That's why I use the word support to cover all of that. But what are your thoughts? I mean, you spoke on some of them, but what are your thoughts on some of these other ones before we move to some that other people have said? Nick?
Yeah, as I said, well, any one of those five would be the deal breaker. But the one that shocks me the most that people defend is number 4, where you have people that I've seen in a very performative fashion using the red blue game. It was like, we gotta resist Trump. We can't organize with anyone who likes Trump because they're Nazis. We got a bunch of Nazis. No tolerance towards Nazis. I know you guys remember that, like where they'll call it anyone who's a Trump supporter is a Nazi. They went from that to now they're apologizing to arming straight up Nazis, the neo-Nazi Azov Battalion, and a lot of these fucking fake leftists was cheering when Lula won, and Lula's like, you guys are out of your goddamn mind, funding for war. He's like, I am a man of peace. Brazil is a nation of peace. If you're for peace, you should be all about advocating for a solution. Compare that to Matt Duss and the NATO left, who been outflanked from the left by Matt Gaetz on this issue. So that's why I said out all five of these are cancelable. But number 4 is like, as someone who was an anti-imperialist, someone who was anti-war before I was a socialist or any of that shit, this was the biggest sin. I'm like, holy shit. They just locked arms with the military-industrial complex. CJ, their position on this is the same as Joe Manchin's. Remember when Max Blumenthal asked Joe Manchin about Ukraine funding? Like, I'm all in.
Oh, yeah, baby. He was like, yeah, baby, we're going to be giving up some more. Yeah, baby, you're going to be sending us whatever they want.
That might as well be Bernie Sanders. They got the same position. I'm all in. Right? But go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, but to your point about Lula and how they could send money to Ukraine and do all these things and then be like, "Yay, Lula!" It illustrates they know that they are just projecting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because how are you cheering a leader who has a great critique about what the U.S. is doing in Ukraine, and you are pretending like you're not hearing that? Oh, I'm for him for everything else. It is completely them projecting to us that they're left as they do stuff that's right, and that's essentially it. But let's look through a little of these, and then we can move on to because there's a lot of topics we want to get to. But you forgot the Rolling Stone cover. Somebody added there, and that's another one. I think. Go ahead. I think 3 implies all the others. So number 3, I forgot what it is. Covering for the Biden administration. I guess that could be true. It may be forced to vote. Um, but yeah, I guess that could be applied to all of them. Refuse to investigate, defund the FBI.
They
this
apologize
per-
for it now.
this person says they just simply exist. And here's I don't is this the guy that sent you that? No, I don't think he sent you that, Mike. It was a different person. So, like others said, a big one is even more egregious: budgets for Capitol Police, and of course the whole January 6th bullshit. Flipped on investigating the FBI for no reason. And in Omar's case, her position on getting rid of former Somalia president. Yeah, that's the reason why Somalians don't love her, don't like her. Um, the principles involved. This has something to do with something else. Sorry. Never heard it saying Medicare for all anymore. Supported corporate Democrats over progressive challengers. The largest funding boom to Capitol Police in history. Voted to get free reduced lunches. Voted to get rid of. They voted. Wait, that's one I haven't confirmed. I'm just reading what these says. I didn't know that if that's true. Ilhan Omar prompted Somali regime change from President Mohammed, and we just spoke about that. Used her diplomatic position to promote Rwandan authoritarian president and war criminal Paul Kagame. I think that's how you said it. Block House resolution to free political prisoner Paul, and I already said his name wrong, so I'll just say Paul R. I'll pause there for any other thoughts before we close. Let me read this one and then give your final thoughts. Voted for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker, deferred to caucus leadership on Venezuela, voted for police funding, NATO expansion, and the largest consolidation of wealth in human history during a pandemic. Your thoughts, Nick,
Yeah,
on just overall thoughts while we close this out, and then I'll give my final thoughts and we can move on here.
yeah. So the squad, as I said, um, as early as last year, their new position is as the Democratic Party PR agents. And we're going to do this segment later where AOC went on Rachel Maddow. And I saw this and I was like, man, yeah, I'm definitely going to say this for Nick and CJ because this is, she's not sitting on Rachel Maddow to advocate for Medicare for all. She's not sent there to to raise awareness on anti-war rallies, to prop up mutual aid. They send her on Rachel Maddow to defend Biden's performance on the State of the Union. And then she went on there to decry how mean the Republicans was to her. To Biden. So that comment where it said, yeah, their job as the defender of Biden supersedes and creates all the other problems, that's a very accurate analysis because that allows them to be weak on Ukraine. And they have to be the opposite as Matt Gaetz, who this is going to be our next segment because this actually rolls off of this segment really well. You have Matt Gaetz who have the proposition to end the Ukraine war funding, but the AOC and the squad are bad on that issue because they have to be against him. That's how the game works. You need a face, you need a heel. You need the
I don't know
squad
how they can be against him. I'll bring up your tweet just for the headline real quick, and then I'll pass it to pass the controls to you. But just to throw the headline up, how is this possible? This when I saw this tweet from you, Nick, nigga, I just closed Twitter, man. I was like,
I was
this
like, dude,
don't
as
make.
soon as
I was
I
like,
saw it, I was
this
like, you
don't
gotta
make
be kidding
no
me.
damn sense right here. That Matt Gaetz is doing shit clearly that the left should be doing. Like, what is TYT and Sam? What are they saying about this? How can they spin this?